So if everyone can, that would be wonderful. And I want to welcome everybody here to our monthly fun Zoom. It's me, Roxanne Wheeler, your hospice registered nurse with Sandy Curtis, women's health nurse practitioner, and Dr. Marie Summers, our naturopathic physician. So by muting, it will preserve the quality of our recording. And our next Zoom will be March 9th, again at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have exciting stuff to share today. In fact, a lot of stuff. My stuff might go a little bit over, so I'm going to apologize ahead of time because I'm going to be talking a lot about the MetaPWR Recharge electrolyte products. So Sandy's going to start us off. Sandy, take it away.
Okay, thanks. And I'm going to use up a little bit of time on something that's pretty important, I believe. I think that we were remiss back in December by not acknowledging that it was Roxanne's 10-year anniversary with doTERRA. And when you think about that, it's mind-boggling to have worked with a company and loved their products for that long. It just says so much about it. So I want to say happy belated anniversary to Roxanne for December. And the reason that it came to my mind is that this month is Marie's and my doTERRA anniversaries. This is my 10-year anniversary because Roxanne very quickly introduced me to the products after she got started 10 years ago. So February of 10 years ago is when I first met doTERRA and fell in love with their products. And 8 years ago was Marie's introduction to doTERRA. So you've got 3 people here who are all 8 years and over with this company. So if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does. But I just wanted to say happy anniversary to us all. And I think that I speak for all of us when I say that we're pretty happy with it. Now, doTERRA, the meaning of doTERRA is gift of the earth. And it really has been a gift for me with my wellness journey. Now, we've learned over the years that this company's mission from day one has been to share the highest quality essential oils with the world. And their standard for the highest level of purity is what makes doTERRA stand out from all the rest. So just a couple points that if you're new, maybe you don't realize that, and I just think it's so important to mention. And if you've been with us for a little while, a reminder is always a good thing. So let's get started with an awesome blend. This is one that I have been using for 10 years now, rather than over-the-counter medicines, which were recommended to me by my healthcare professionals, and it's DigestZen. Whether you're traveling on vacation, you're trying a new recipe, maybe you've overindulged with a meal, lots of different reasons. And like I said, for mine, it actually is taking care of some issues for me that keep me from having to use an over-the-counter medicine. So every pure essential oil that is part of the digestive blend was chosen with your tummy in mind. Did you know that cardamom is a close relative of ginger, as well as peppermint, anise, and caraway oils all aid your digestion and can help to maintain a healthy GI system when you take them internally. Coriander, ginger, and fennel help to ease occasional stomach discomfort and indigestion. So many people I talk with who are not yet using doTERRA are really depending on some of those daily over-the-counter medicines to help relieve their digestive concerns. And that concerns me. So because rather than supporting your healthy digestion, using some of those meds actually on a regular basis can change the flora and your GI system's ability to do its job, which is digestion. So you can mix your DigestZen with your fractionated coconut oil and create your own tummy massage. You can take it in a few drops of water or tea to help with digestion, to calm those occasional GI upsets, to calm the stomach jitters, and to maintain your healthy digestive system as needed. So that's what I love about using something like this, is that instead of really messing up the system, I'm actually supporting it. Now, we do love our promos in this group, and this month is a good one. With your 200 PV order, you will get 3 free 15 ml size oils, and one of them is DigestZen. So you're going to hear about the other 2 free oils from Roxanne and Marie in just a few minutes. But first, I want to talk about another one of my daily oils, which is cinnamon bark. Now, you may have heard me talk about adding this to my coffee or my tea every single day because I love the flavor that it adds. And this oil is 10% off in February, so you can love it and save a little bit this month. It comes from the bark of a tropical tree. It's fragrant, it is so flavorful, and it's filled with some super beneficial compounds. There are about 250 varieties of cinnamon trees that grow around the world, but true cinnamon, which officially has the long generic Cinnamomum zeylanicum is the name of it, is considered the finest by doTERRA. So doTERRA's cinnamon bark oil is distilled from true cinnamon trees that are grown and harvested in Madagascar and Tanzania, where the growing conditions bring us an essential oil with a higher concentration of cinnamaldehyde, that chemistry that is so important. This oil contains cleansing properties that can help clean the surfaces in your home. Just add 2 to 3 drops to a spray bottle with water and some white vinegar, and it makes a great cleaning spray, and it smells fabulous. When you take it internally, cinnamon oil benefits your body by supporting healthy metabolic function, something we're all really looking to do. It also helps you to maintain a healthy immune function. So who likes getting sick, right? It helps to support healthy circulation as well as the health of your urinary tract and your kidneys. It is all about the chemistry of the oils, because cinnamon essential oil contains a high amount of cinnamaldehyde. Only 1 or 2 drops of oil are needed to get those internal benefits. You can place 2 drops in an empty veggie cap, and we've talked about this. I think Marie talked about it just last month, but if you are not yet familiar, you can get a whole bottle of veggie caps. How many are in there? I can't read it. But they look like this. It's just an empty little capsule that you open up, and you put the drops of whatever oil that you're interested in taking internally, and then just swallow it as you would any other medication. And because it's so yummy, you can just add it to a drop of it to your warm water or your favorite warm beverage, and it can be really soothing for an irritated throat this time of year. As part of your morning or your nightly routine, add a drop to a couple ounces of water and gargle for an awesome mouth rinse. And because of that high cinnamaldehyde content, this oil should always be diluted with your fractionated coconut oil when you apply it topically, not necessarily when you take it internally. But when you apply it topically with your fractionated coconut oil, it is really a lovely warming massage for cold, achy joints, especially this time of year. Its sweet and spicy aroma makes it a great oil for the diffuser and can even help to naturally repel insects. Along with its internal and its external benefits, cinnamon essential oil is used to enhance the flavor of lots of things: drinks, breads, breakfast, desserts, entrees. Go a little crazy with this. We use cinnamon in lots of different ways, so think about using your oil in place of it. And just like me, you might fall madly in love with this oil once you start using it. So today, my DIY is something so yummy. It is a super healthy breakfast, lunch, or snack: cinnamon almond granola. And I just made it this week, so I'm not mixing it all up to show you, but I will explain. It is the toughest part is just getting all your ingredients together. Putting together the granola is so easy. 4 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats, 2 cups of shredded, unsweetened coconut, 1.5 cups of sliced almonds, 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, 1/4 cup of flaxseed meal, a teaspoon of salt, some dried fruits like a cup of dried cherries and a cup of dried cranberries is wonderful, 1/2 cup of honey, 1/4 cup of maple syrup, and 1/2 cup of coconut oil, and then 10 drops of your cinnamon bark oil. So preheat your oven to 325, and in a big bowl, you're going to combine all of the dry things and stir that all up. And then in a saucepan over medium heat, you're going to melt together your honey, your maple syrup, and the coconut oil all together, and just pour that over your dry mixture. And then add your drops of essential oil, stir it all really well, and you're going to pour it onto a giant sheet pan like this, and it's really going to fill that pan. And put it in your oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. About every 10 minutes, I like to take a giant spatula and stir it all up so that it bakes really evenly. And once it's done, you take it out of the oven and cool it off, and then you add your dry cherries and or whatever dry fruit you want to add to it, and just store it in an airtight container. It makes a fabulous, fabulous snack or meal. Just don't skip the cinnamon bark oil because it really, really has a huge impact on it. So enjoy that DIY. Now I'm going to pass you off to Dr. Marie, who has more essential oil wisdom to share. And happy anniversary to my friend Marie.
Thank you so much, Sandy. And congratulations, Roxanne. How exciting. And to you, Sandy. Yes, how fortunate are we to be able to be with a company that cares so much about the quality of the products. And I say that probably every day to somebody because they'll ask me questions about other companies. And I'm like, do the research. I mean, this company provides so much of that for us. So grateful. So I'm going to get to talk about 2 oils today, and both of them I love. And the first one, people pronounce it differently. I say Copaiba, like Copiebuh, and then other people pronounce it a different way. I don't know how you all do it, but I say Copaiba. So if you put in a 200 PV order this month during February, you'll receive, and as Sandy said too, the Copaiba, this doTERRA Supermint, and the DigestZen. I love that DigestZen. I agree, Sandy. I just think that's a game changer for so many people. And on a side note, we're having a ham radio class here, and the teacher a couple Thursday nights ago had a bellyache. And so I said, oh, I have something for you. So I went and I got a capsule for him and gave it to him, and he took it, no questions asked. His wife is involved with doTERRA. He will take nothing from her. So the next day she calls me and she says, what did you give David for his stomach ache the other night? I said, a DigestZen, of course. She said, he won't even believe me that it worked that good. And it's the company I've been telling him about forever. I was in hysterics, you know. But anyways, back to Copaiba. I love the smell of it. To me, it's very earthy and grounding. It comes from a tree in South America, Brazil, actually. And I find it to be a very powerful and relaxing smell for me. I just absolutely adore it. There it is right there. It has had many studies that anybody can look up how it supports cardiovascular, respiratory, nervous, immune system, and the digestive system, which I also love to add peppermint with that. So like I said, it's a large tree in the rainforest of northern Brazil, and it's steam distilled, and this oil comes from 4 different species, and that's how you get that really woodsy kind of smell. You can use it in 4 different ways, aromatically, in one of your diffusers. We have them all over the house. And a lot of people love it at night just for that relaxing kind of effect that it has. Topically, you can put it right on, your skin. Internally, which we were talking about that a few minutes ago with my thumb situation. So you can just literally put it right in your mouth. I'm not crazy about the flavor of it. Roxanne is much braver when it comes to things like that than I. And then you can use it on your skin neat. And some people have said that they put it in their like lotions for any like maybe little blemishes that come, and then it has been helpful for that. It has been known, and I'm going to put up on my Holistic Health and Home YouTube video that I love with Dr. Hill and Dr. O, and they compare these two, Copaiba and CBD. One of the things, there's 2 different, they're plant cannabinoids. PCP, it goes to the CB2 receptors, not the CB1 receptor. And in this video, Dr. Hill and Dr. O explain this beautifully, and they compare it to CBD oils. Now, I'm not a real fan of CBD oils for many different reasons, but this Copaiba oil has the same properties to many of the CBDs without having to worry about THC in it. So again, thank you to doTERRA for the fabulous information that they give us on this and the research that they've done. So I have really enjoyed it. A few moments ago mentioned putting it in the diffusers at night, maybe just to calm down your brain a little bit before you go to bed. For some of my grandkids, if they have exams coming up from school, I suggest that they put that in there. You can also put it in a roller bottle. If you had a roller bottle and liked that, maybe about 20 drops and some fractionated coconut oil, and rub that on through the day if you find your mind racing or anything like that. Also, for any kind of aches that I have on the farm, they have now put some of this Copaiba into this stick with Deep Blue. And I love to like put it on my thumbs at night or something like that. And I found, oh, just smelling this, the smell of this is so delicious. So that's another way to get Copaiba into your world. Now, it's a good thing that I couldn't find any of the capsules in my house because we're out of them. We started doing the cleanse recently, so I put some of my regular supplements aside. I cannot believe I don't have any Copaiba capsules in my house to show you the bottle, but they are on order. You can be guaranteed of that. So that's another thing. There's 3 great ways that we can get this fabulous oil. Now, last week, one of my grandchildren had 4 wisdom teeth taken out. So because of the qualities that we talked about a few minutes ago, I told her to put a few drops of the Copaiba oil in some water and use it in her mouth to take out a little discomfort after losing her wisdom teeth. And she said, Nana, it made such a difference, and she really appreciated that oral care that Copaiba was able to give her. Let's see, what else did I want to tell you about this? I'm trying to be so compliant. It's hard.
You're doing, Dr. Marie, you're doing very well. Thank you.
I am. Oh, phew. So emotionally, just as a kind of like a little wrap up kind of thing, Copaiba for the emotional level, for our daily discomforts, for skin and beauty, for better sleep, and just for all over. I mentioned a few of our systems earlier. So for better balance in the body, homeostasis, I just can't say enough about this oil. So definitely grab onto that little special today, or this month, actually, when you do your 200 PV order. Then the other oil that I'm going to talk about is a totally yummy oil, uplifting. It's tangerine. And you can't help but when you take the cap off and smell it, it makes me think of Florida. I don't know why, but just a absolutely delicious oil. And remember, all of your citrus oils are uplifting. They grow high up on the tree. So that's how I kind of remember those. If they grow high up on the tree, they're going to lift you up, opposed to your trees that are more grounding, right? So that's a good way to think about that. So tangerine is one of the ones that I think about for that. So it's cold processed from the rind of the tangerine. And the main constituents are limonene and apinine. The top properties of it are antioxidants, anticoagulants, which would have been very good for me this morning. Didn't think about it for that. Anti-inflammatory. It has some laxative qualities, sedative, and it can be found in different blends as well. And or meaning you can, oh, I just grabbed the Copaiba. Where did I put it? You can blend it with like bergamot. I love blending this with bergamot, clary sage, and lavender are some of the ones that I've tried over the years that I think are really, really good. They have done some studies, and don't forget to always look in the books that we are so lucky to have. This one is The Essential Life. This is an older one. There's been some new books put out subsequent to this that are just filled with great information. You know, a lot of times people will say, oh, well, what do you think about this or that? And I've gotten smart in my old age, and I say, look it up. We have such great information available to us. And when I take the time and look it up, I might remember something a little bit better than if somebody just, you know, tells me, because I've put some skin in the game. So the citruses, and tangerine in particular, has been known to increase circulation in our body, which is fabulous. One of my main things I love to see about this too, in any of the citruses, but tangerine, is for how we hold fluids in our body. I don't know how much water everybody's drinking in the winter. I think people cut short on that. We really need to push it, but we don't want to retain it. Good job, Roxanne. So we want to make sure that our body is cleaning it all out. So if you tend to hold it a little, this would be a perfect oil for that. And they say, but you know, there's a lot of stuffiness going on right now. So you could put this along with some peppermint in one of those capsules that Sandy was talking about, that we use them here all the time, and help some of that stuffiness and little congestion that might be going on in us. And again, just when I opened that bottle, talk about emotional balance. Yum. If you're feeling sadness or irritated, you might want to open up a bottle of tangerine, just take a delicious whiff of it. And I would love to guarantee almost that if you just close your eyes and just smell that in for a few minutes, you're bound to feel better, even in spite of yourself. Sometimes I say that to people, oh my gosh, just get out of your own way and enjoy it. You know, some people are so connected to their misery. You know, there is no way that you can stay miserable with smelling one of these fabulous little oils. So, and that tangerine is 10% off this month. So definitely a great way to save some money with that. Now, my DIY, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to mix it up just because of my thumb, but I made some yogurt. Of course I did. Does anybody have an Instapot? If you have an Instapot, you put a quart of milk with a quarter of a cup of starter in your Instapot, you push yogurt, 8 hours later, you have homemade yogurt. It is so easy and so delicious. So I used strawberries from our garden and that are frozen for the winter, and I made strawberry yogurt. So this recipe that you'll be getting from Roxanne is 1 cup of yogurt, 2 packages of cream cheese. Now, I only put 1 in this recipe today. We don't eat a lot of cream cheese. But the recipe says that. 1/2 cup of honey. Now, with honey, I didn't put any in mine because I find the yogurt just in and of itself, because our milk is so creamy because of the Jersey milk, we're getting at least not half, but close to half the amount of cream on a gallon of milk. So that is just delicious. I don't need to add honey, but depending on the area where you live, it's really important to get local honey, because people with allergies and things like that, the bees that are local to where you are going to help you in your own immune system. So check out where you can get your own local honey. But anyways, back to the recipe. 1 cup of vanilla, 2 packages of cream cheese, 1/2 cup of honey, and 2 drops of tangerine oil. Okay. So all you got to do is mix it all up in the bowl. So there's my yogurt, my cream cheese. And after I mixed it up, I was going to add some more strawberries. And these are blueberries that I had in our freezer as well from last summer. So I was going to just take my little handy dandy thing, but I could probably make a mess today because I can't get my thumb in. So mix it up, and then all you'd have to do is put it in a little bowl. Sandy, you did yours so beautifully, having it shown. But imagine this delicious tangerine yogurt in this. So I hope you all give it a try and that you have a magnificent day. I hope you enjoy these 2 oils that we got to talk about. And I'm going to turn it over to Roxanne. And then sadly, I have to head out to try to find some nonstick gauze. But I appreciate all of you, and I will check back in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marie. So here we are, and she said a cup of vanilla, if I thought I heard her right. I think the recipe says a cup of vanilla yogurt, so I'm not really sure how that
Yes,
translates.
yogurt. Yeah, it's yogurt, not vanilla. Oh my gosh, did I say vanilla? Oh, I must have
And
just got talking
it's
about the yogurt.
the
Say it.
tangerine is our product of the month. It's our free product of the month.
Oh, I looked up. I thought it said 10% off. Roxanne, you always take care of me. Thank you so much for setting me straight. Yes, the
This is
recipe is 1 cup of
10%.
yogurt, 2 cups of cream cheese, 1/2 cup of honey, and 2 drops of tangerine. That answer?
Thank you so much, and go get better on that thumb.
Darn thumb. Thank you.
Okay, so part of what I'm talking about this week or this month is Supermint. And Supermint is a blend of our peppermint, Japanese mint, bergamot mint, and spearmint. And the Supermint is one of those 3 free oils that total up $106 in value wholesale for freebie this month with your 200 PV order. And if you already put in your order and want to take advantage of the 200 PV order, you can always call customer service 1-800-411-8151 to ask them to do a makeup order with whatever you need PV wise to total your 200, and tell them you want those freebies. And you know, if you put that in by the 15th, which is Thursday this week, you're going to get $122 free when you process it by the 15th, because the tangerine would be part of your freebies as long as it's by the 15th and you've got at least 125 PV in there. Also, I wanted to let you know that if you reactivate, if anybody who watches this replay, because everybody on here right now is an active member, but if you haven't ordered in a year and you reactivate after a year of no orders with that LRP, by the 15th, you can qualify for an additional 100 free oils in the month of April. Wow. New enrollments can't get the Tangerine, but they can get those $106 of oils. They can get the free bubble diffuser with that 200 PV promo, and qualify to get $100 in free oils in April. That to me is just magical. Would you agree with that? doTERRA really knows how to take care of us. So the prices, I'm sad to say this, but I have to be the bearer of bad news. Prices will increase March 1st. They've already given us a heads up on that for about an average of 5%. Although the frequent LRP items will be closer to 3% in case anyone wants to stock up on any other products. The frequent LRP, I think, will be like that Lifelong Vitality, MetaPWR, things like that, that a lot of people get every single month. That might help you, in fact, to get your free oils this month by reaching your 200 PV easier too. So back to Supermint. Why would we want Supermint? Actually, it's a surprising oil. It is the oil of perspective. It's so helpful for aches, exhaustion. It calms inflamed tissues. It promotes circulation, restores energetic flow. It helps energize, focus. It'll cool us physically, and it'll cool our charged emotions as well. It's very, very good for grief, surprisingly. I was so surprised when I learned that about Supermint when I went to research it this week, that I literally sent it to a friend in California. Unfortunately, her daughter was murdered a week ago. A young woman, 24 years old, was murdered. I mean, how does anybody get over that, right? But I did send her some Supermint. Optimism, it also helps our optimism. It helps us with our agitation. Anybody who's living with someone who's agitated, and there are unfortunately a lot of people in that situation because of different reasons. People who are impatient, it's very helpful with that. It's also very helpful for sadness. It will help if you need to rest, motivate, get more confidence, feel more optimistic, and feel like you have a belief in whatever you want to believe in. And hopefully that's yourself. So that is the Supermint. Have I convinced you that it's a good oil to have on hand? In fact, it's what I put into my smoothie today. I put in some cocoa powder, some coconut milk, some protein powder, the doTERRA fiber, and about 3 cups of chopped cabbage in my smoothie to get that extra vitamin C, and with no flavor because cabbage doesn't really have any flavor. Now, February 15th, there's something else that's happening there. There will be a new limited time flavor of the MetaPWR Advantage Collagen Powder, and it will be in the flavor of pomegranate cherry. So if you're looking for something new, that might be something to try. Now, my big talk today is about MetaPWR Recharge. I didn't really know much about it until early this week. Electrolytes are important ions inside of our bodies that play an important role physiologically. Now, this is going to be a little heavy on the science, so I'm just warning you. You can ignore much of it if you would like to, but if you like science, you're going to like this. They play an important role for us physiologically. Now, per Alex DeBell, he's our Director of Nutraceuticals and Innovation. We all have voltage-gated channels on our cell surfaces. A signal from our brain through our nerves tell our muscles to contract when it's time to contract. These ions allow that to happen. Different processes that just happen every day that we take for granted. That will go with any kind of muscle activity, whether it's your heart beating, swallowing, moving your bowels, digesting your food, lifting up your baby, patting your dog. Anything that involves any kind of muscular activity needs electrolytes. Now, these electrolytes are calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. Have you ever heard of the sodium-potassium pump? That's critical in keeping our cells hydrated. We have organs like our kidneys that help regulate the fluid balance in our body. Fluids that are pumping all throughout our body, throughout our veins, create our blood pressure. These are all regulated carefully by electrolyte balance, by water retention. We have different hormones that play a role in telling our kidneys how to function, whether to retain water, whether to lose water, and that helps to maintain our blood pressure. A well-balanced diet from good sources of food, whole foods, and plants give us access to a lot of these important electrolytes. Now, the problem is when we drift away from the quality of our diet. That's when we're going to lose a lot of access to those electrolytes, especially sodium. In today's world, most people get a lot more sodium than they should, and people like the way that foods high in sodium taste. Potato chips, Fritos, popcorn, things like that. Sodium and potassium go together. doTERRA has been very conscientious in the formulation for this product, including 3 parts potassium to 1 part sodium. Part of that is a reflection of what people are typically consuming every day, that they get more sodium from their diet and they need more potassium. And you can get potassium from fruits. 30 to 50% of people have salt-sensitive blood pressure. And that means when you consume too much salt, your blood pressure rises, which is not a good thing, especially over a prolonged period of time. People are consuming a lot of salt or sodium, often in processed foods. And you know what? It's so easy to grab those processed foods. We're busy, we're tired. They're cheaper, unfortunately, than a lot of our whole foods. Now, hardcore athletes, day laborers, or people in very hot climates, for example, where they're sweating a lot, are losing a lot of these electrolytes. It might make sense for them to either double up or augment their intake of these salts based on what they're losing. And that's not your everyday person, though. Most people are not training for an Ironman. But if you have a hardcore athlete in your home or your family, or if people are following certain dietary protocols, like intermittent fasting, I do that myself, or people who are on a keto diet, they may lose a little bit more of those electrolytes because they're shedding more water. And with the water goes those electrolytes. So replenishing those becomes even more important for those populations. doTERRA wants to make sure the electrolytes are well absorbed and then retained by the body. They are delivered in micron-sized liposomes that end up mimicking how our body communicates intracellularly from cell to cell. There's a process of an exocytosis and endocytosis. Those are heavy science words, sorry about that, where these little spheres are formed. So your body is already very familiar with this whole process and being able to absorb these types of nutrients. doTERRA is leveraging some pretty good technology there to enhance it. In the Lifelong Vitality, we get certain vitamins and minerals with some calcium and magnesium from our Microplex VMZ. We aren't providing the sodium and phosphate in VMZ. One of the unique aspects of the Recharge formula is that we include a unique form of magnesium L-threonate, and I had never heard of that, to be honest with you, before a couple days ago when I was doing some more research. The magnesium L-threonate traffics magnesium to the brain. It is a different type of magnesium through our MetaPWR Recharge that helps memory, coping with anxious feelings or stress, or to help us sleep, all of our cognitive function. These things are all impacted if we have lower amounts of magnesium in the brain. Included, we have a deep ocean mineral blend. So we have 80 plus trace minerals from the deep ocean. We also have in the product fresh ginseng extract with unique RG3 ginsenosides for mitochondrial function, helping us to produce real energy. Our mitochondria make ATP, which is a real energy form. Now, to facilitate the exchange of water between our cells, they've included the baobab extract, which helps with activation of the aquaporin 3 gene. I'm telling you, this is so heavy on the science today. This is not like me typically. So this one is a liquid format, this product. We've talked about other types of product formats. This comes in a sachet. I should have grabbed some out of my kitchen, but I didn't, I'm sorry. It's a little sachet, it's about this long, maybe 5 inches long. It's a liquid. And they say activate it by just squeezing the package before you put it into your water. And with other types of product formats, they do them in a powder because of certain reasons. But this one, we don't have to. It can be right in the liquid form. So they're going to be, if they're going to be exposed to heat or degrade, they would have been put in a powder form. But these electrolytes are fine in the liquid format. They're not going to degrade. It's a very stable delivery that way. No problem if you want to heat it up. If you want to add it to your coffee even, you could do that. Now for the average person, number one, they're already getting usually more sodium from their diet than they should. I don't think I am, because I notice that my blood pressure can go low. So then I need to add more sodium for myself. And then secondarily, most people are not exercising that intensely in a hot environment where they'd be losing that much sodium. So a lot of people who are replacing these amounts of electrolytes, or sodium in particular, they're not necessarily doing themselves a lot of good. You want to have that right balance. So hence, and now they're talking about other electrolyte drinks out there, energy drinks and so forth. So this product having the 3-to-1 potassium to sodium, more potassium than sodium, which helps with the kidneys and blood pressure. Combining the recharge with the advantage is perfect as well. In fact, Alex DeBell said that's what he happens to do. But really, it doesn't matter when you take it. You can take it whenever works best for your personal schedule. I personally am taking it first thing in the morning because for quite a long time now, I've noticed how dry my mouth is in the night when I'm sleeping. So obviously I'm dehydrating. And I've been enjoying it regularly in my 2 glasses of water. I've been enjoying it all week because I got it early in the week to make sure I tested it out for this program, for this Zoom today. And you know what I've been noticing? It's helping my regularity. And I've been struggling with this for quite a while. So I just needed to let you know that it's a surprising product and you might want to try it. It is $39.50 for 30 sachets. It comes in 2 flavors. One is strawberry flavor and one is lemon lime flavor. To me, they taste like a non-alcoholic margarita. That's what they taste like to me. And you can put a little more or a little less water in it, depending on your taste buds. So my next little thing I wanted to mention today is, do you know what your oils are sourced from? The categories I'm going to tell you about will help you. And it's very simple. It'll tell us quickly why we would select an oil and use it based on where it comes from. So looking at the medical research into various drugs for specific benefits, we know, this is what the researchers are telling us, that trees have natural comforting properties. So they're going to be very physically and psychologically soothing. Translate that to mean less discomfort. So that would be your trees. So any of your tree oils, your Siberian fir, your frankincense, your myrrh, balsam fir, white fir, that used to be an oil. They don't sell that anymore. But those different tree oils are going to be really good for comforting. Citrus oils are great for cleansing the body or any surfaces in your home or your life. Citrus is for cleansing, so it'll help clean out that liver. It'll help clean out some of the nasty stuff in our body. It'll help pull out some of the toxins from our fat tissues where toxins like to live. Spices kill microbes and parasites. So if you're looking to kill things, you want to choose spices. Not that I'm a violent person, but sometimes some of those things need to go from our bodies, right? Flowers are for women's issues, any kind of women's issues, as well as any kind of heart issues. So the flower oils, lavender, helichrysum, osmanthus. I'm trying to think of some other flowers now. Magnolia, jasmine, rose. All of those are flower oils. Ylang ylang, women's issues and heart issues. The resin oils are anti-infective. Again, they're also killing. So the resins would be like from frankincense and myrrh in particular. So this is what Big Pharma studies to develop medications. They look at what plants do and they look to try to replicate that synthetically in the lab to make money. That's what that's all about. So how cool is that, knowing those categories of oils? Couple quickies. Allison Jacobs, she used to be called Allie Van Zandbergen or Allie Van Z, is creating the Wellness Wednesday Elite Oil Circle oil tip. It'll be a post every Wednesday on a particular oil. And the Facebook page is called Happiness Happens Elite Oil Circle. You can ask to join that if you're not already a member. It's for any one of our team and her team. And so that's one way you can learn more about your products. Remember, our next Zoom is March 9th. Invite your friends. We welcome anybody to come on to this Zoom and learn about the oils. And reach out to me as well if you want to have more learning. I've recently recorded some introductory classes. If you want to share those with friends, I can send you the link for the replay. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop the recording. And I'm going to open it up for questions.